Welcome back, everybody, to the Me and Jesse podcast. My name is Mark Pavelich. Across the way in the Grove, the big, sexy Jesse Martineau. And ladies and gentlemen, our special guest today, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor.
Foremost, I want to say thank you, Jesse, and thank you, Mark, for having me.
Our pleasure.
You pioneers in the sport, very good when it comes to assessing MMA and the sport and dissecting the sport of MMA. I appreciate you guys, especially Antonio McKee being a champion in your league once you had it in Canada. I wish you had it. Otherwise, I would have signed with MFC and we would have had some fun. But thank you for having the Pretty Boy.
Listen, you know what? You know what I love what you're doing right now? I love that you're saying what you're gonna do. You're putting it out into the universe, and now it's happening. Now it's happening. You're not crazy anymore. It's factual. It is factual what you're doing.
Well, here's the funny thing, right? When I said the Jake Paul thing back in 2020, next you know, I said I was going to fight Jake Paul. Next you know, I'm sparring Jake Paul. I tweeted March of 2021 saying I was going to fight Tommy Fury. No one paid no mind to it on Twitter. They didn't like it or nothing. Next thing you know it, I'm fighting Tommy Fury in August. What's crazy, right?
And Tommy Fury didn't do shit to you either. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
What's crazy is, right, once this fight does finalize, I can't say too much about it, the name pretty much, but when it does, I'm going to send you the screenshot of what I sent, and you're going to be like, holy shit. Because it's not the exact fight that I want, but you're going to be like, wow. And he said this last year.
You know what I like, though? Your last fight, Raksu, when the announcer was saying, don't blink. And I swear to God, it was like choreography. He goes, don't blink, and you knocked him down. And literally, if I had a screenshot of his face when he came up, I would have printed up T-shirts. Because the guy's face, he looked like literally like that never happened to him in his entire life before, right? Like you could see that.
He was like, wow. You obviously saw the whole fight.
I did.
And a lot of people underestimated me because of the Tommy Fury fight. And I had to let people know when I tweet, because I'm very active on Twitter now that it blew up. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I am not the same fighter that I was when I fought Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
My game has leveled up. And a lot of people thought I was that same fighter. I said, listen, you guys might talk a lot of shit about me, but when we get in them 10-ounce gloves, it's a whole different story. I'm used to fighting in 4-ounce gloves in my whole career.
Yeah.
You know, that a lot of people criticized me when I fought Ryan Taylor, who obviously was a tough guy. And they said, well, I fought Ryan Taylor in 16-ounce gloves, and we was doing 2-minute rounds in 3 rounds, 6 minutes, opposed to Slim. He didn't even knock out Ryan Taylor. So I took a lot of heat, but now people are starting to take notice. Antonio was like, look, Ant, I like the enthusiasm, what you're doing, but I need you to slow it down. I can't have you knocking out these guys, because if you knock out these YouTubers, they're going to be like, yo,
it's a wrap. You ain't,
take your ass to boxing with Jake Paul and them fighting pro fighters.
Yeah.
No one's going to want to fight you. You're going to need to let them, give them a chance that they can hang in there with you.
Yes. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Because I'm above the rest. And a lot of people ain't going to want to call me out. I'm always calling somebody out, and I'm ready to be game. You know.
But aren't you're on that Mayweather undercard. Are you on that Mayweather fight card?
No.
Okay. Like that's that Fincham kid, right? And he's gonna get it too, right? So if he watches our show, he's like, you don't understand, like he's gonna get it. Okay. So he's gonna get it.
The Mike Tyson stance.
Yeah.
You know, that I was told winning that fight, I become a mega star in boxing. This is from what I was told by the people from Global Titans. They said, bro, you win this fight, you'll be a top 15 megastar, top 25 megastar in boxing up there with the names like Jake Paul and stuff and KSI and Canelo's. And because I have a household name, my following is growing, and I'm so entertaining. They're like, bro, win this fight, you'll be fighting in March in Saudi Arabia
Perfect.
on a Manny Pacquiao undercard.
Yeah.
For
Well,
global.
now you're on a Mayweather undercard.
Right.
But the hype, it's not really like an undercard per se. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you say an undercard fight, there might be more people watching this fight than Mayweather's fight because no one knows who Mayweather's fighting really. They don't know, they don't know him well, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
and that's more of a showcase fight. That's not a fight, you know? So your fight with this kid, with Jack, is more of a fight of like maybe in his mind he thinks he can actually beat you, but in reality, you could carry him, you could knock him out in the first round, second round, whatever you choose.
Right. This is, by the way, this is an official pro bout.
Yes.
Official pro bout. I was told that he's had 60 amateur fights before. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
So he's a lot more seasoned than Ashley Raksu.
Yeah.
But Jack Fincham hasn't fought in 16 years.
Yeah, that's right. The difference.
Now, we know amateurs and pro are totally two different things.
Yes.
Two different levels. There's levels to this shit. You're going from MMA amateur to now pro, you know. So
yeah.
I'm fortunate enough to be making history, and I'm doing this all on my own. I am the first MMA fighter, African-American at that, to be on Showtime pay-per-view twice with Jake Paul, and just on Showtime with Tyron Woodley. First MMA fighter, African-American, to be headlining on, or not headlining, be on the Zone pay-per-view and stuff, besides Ben Askren, but I'm doing it multiple times. And then all of a sudden, the only MMA fighter is going on an undercard with Floyd Mayweather.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing big things. As an MMA fighter not signed to the UFC, Anthony Taylor is doing something. No. Anthony Paul Taylor, my government name, is doing something right. And people need to see what my ingredients of what I'm doing so people can catch up, because I know what sells. I know what to do. You have to manifest and you have to put in that work.
What's the list?
But KSI won't take that fight. Like, would KSI take the fight if you knock this kid out in the first, second round? Would he be even interested in taking that type of fight? Because, like you said, there's different levels to this thing, and I saw KSI out of all that group of people is the highest common denominator outside of Jake Paul. Right. So Jake Paul's the highest common denominator in that group of YouTubers and all that kind of stuff. KSI is probably number 2. And then there's a big drop off.
A lot of people, KSI, and everybody knows that Jake Paul will smoke KSI. Yeah,
he'd kill him.
But the fact is, by me winning these next 2 fights, can potentially fight KSI, because then that gives KSI like, hey, KSI, if you beat Anthony Taylor, who went all rounds with Tommy, who's also sparring partner.
That's right. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Who's a legitimate fighter, and you beat Anthony, then you possibly might be ready for Jake Paul. Because now that's Jake Paul's sparring partner. He's went the distance with Tommy. I don't really see Tommy fighting KSI because Tommy doesn't want to do it an exhibition.
No.
KSI is not doing it pro. It's an exhibition match or whatever. And Tommy wants too much money.
Yeah.
I don't see Tyron Woodley, but who knows? Who knows if he's fighting Tyron Woodley? But we don't know. But him beating Tyron Woodley is going to be look at Jake like, well, I just beat Tyron Woodley twice. Like,
but are we getting kind of tired of Tommy Fury? Like, you know what I mean by that? He's like, he doesn't really like commit. Like, he was supposed to fight Jake Paul twice, 3 times, and then this happened and that happened and this happened and that happened. And it's like we're getting to the point now where it's like that ship is gone for Tommy Fury.
It's gone. It's gone. I'll take a step back.
Yeah.
They offered Tommy Fury a rematch with me. He said no.
Yeah. Now, no. Yeah.
$1 million to fight me in a rematch. They said no.
Wow.
They said no. And it only makes sense for KSI to fight me. One, I'm a low risk.
Is it a good payday? Would it be a huge payday?
Who knows? who knows? I probably would have got like 200,000 for that fight.
Well,
Yeah.
Big pay.
versus
But
UFC.
fighting KSI, when you look at the opponents if KSI had a pick between Tommy Fury and Tyron Woodley and me, him picking me is a better choice. One, I don't pose a threat and I'm shorter.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, it would be a smarter move business-wise for him to fight me instead of having to risk that fight against Tommy and Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
So, so these are the things that are happening. Like I said, winning this fight, I'm guaranteed 2 fights. Guaranteed. And 1 fight is on the Manny Pacquiao undercard in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Fantastic. So are you enjoying this travel? Are you enjoying going
I love traveling. I love
it.
flying. I personally love it. I would love to go back to MMA. Trust me.
Yeah,
I
really?
I would love to go back to MMA, but it's like, bro, you guys ain't paying me enough.
Yeah, I know.
Unless Bellator and UFC's offer me 100,000 a fight, great, I'll do it. Let's go. I mean, Bellator has spoken. They have been in touch with Antonio.
Yeah,
we obviously know Antonio and AJ, but they are keeping their eye on me. They're keeping their eye on me. And they're seeing what I'm doing. I'm damn near more famous than everybody on the Bellator roster besides AJ. No disrespect to the fighters,
of course.
I'm doing more things. I'm more known globally.
But you know what? I've said this before. I love AJ McKee. Okay, I love him. Okay, I love the family. But you know what? It drives me nuts about that. He's getting less famous every day by being in Bellator. Jesse and I have discussed it multiple times. Listen to me when I tell you this. He could walk down the main street of where we live. Not one person would know who he is. That's a shame. You understand that? That's a massive shame. I told people this before. No offense, but Coker, I wouldn't let him put on my daughter's, when she was 12 years old, her birthday party. Okay. That's the level of, he's one of the shittiest promoters in the world. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you is, yeah, he might be organized. He might be professional. Yeah. That's fantastic. That buffoon couldn't sell a fight with 2, like I'm telling you right now, like I'm trying to articulate this correctly because I've always said this about Scott. He's a nice person. There's nothing wrong with him. But when you're talking about promoter wise, they are destroying AJ McKee, destroying.
And on that, Mark, when you have to look at it, I don't really blame the promoters. Because now when you look at, when I met Jake Paul, I realized one thing.
Yeah.
People hate on Jake Paul. Why? Because he's making a lot of his money.
Yeah.
Not my fault Jake Paul bought 20 of his followers from Instagram to Showtime. It's not my fault that Jake Paul bought 20 million subscribers from YouTube to Showtime.
You're right.
Like Dana White would say, our job is to give you the platform to fight. It's not our job to promote you.
But be careful though. But one thing though, yeah, I agree with you what you're saying. But what I'm trying to tell you is, even AJ, when they switched him weight classes, they went to go fight up or whatever, and he lost. Right? It was like there was nothing left for him to do at his weight class. We've seen multiple fighters. Roy Jones Jr. easily could have went down as one of the greatest of all times until he started fighting at this weight class, that weight class, and losing. There's nobody for him to fight at Bellator, so they stick him to fight with someone he probably shouldn't have been fighting, and he did, and he lost, and now his value goes down again.
Here's one thing about AJ. AJ doesn't give shit about social media.
Right.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, AJ, when you look at all these fighters like Cyborg and all that, Cyborg is constantly posting every single day.
Sure.
He's constantly doing content. Bellator can post you 6 times a day if they want you to. Don't mean you're going to get 100. It doesn't mean you're going to get 1 million followers. It's your job to interact with fans, doing activities with fans. Hey, meet and greets. Hey, I'm doing a pop-up. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to schools talking about violence awareness and wrestling, going to wrestling schools, technique of the week.
Sure.
It's your your job to promote your page. Like I'm doing it. Yeah, the zone might post me, but I'm the one who's doing my content myself. I'm the one.
I agree with that part. But my point is, when you watch like the promo videos in the past, and you watch all these things,
right.
That, they were really slow moving on all that kind of stuff when it came to AJ.
It's like WWE and AEW.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the Mecca. You're talking about Madison Square Garden, or you're talking about a Sacramento Kings arena.
Yeah,
it takes time, but you have to make your own self a star.
Well, you bring up an interesting point because we've talked about guys that, like, for example, AJ and other guys that don't have the show skills like you have. And they said, well, it's about the fighting. It should be about the fighting. Why is it about this side of it? But you're bringing in another side of this, is that you're still building something yourself. And really, at the end of the day, correct me if I'm wrong, but you care more about yourself than the best organization that you've had the most success with cares about you.
Right.
Correct,
say, people ask me, are you a fighter? I say, hell no, I'm not a fighter. I'm an entertainer. Entertainer gets paid more money than a fighter.
It's true.
Entertainers get paid more money than a fighter. They say, well, Anthony, what type of entertainer are you? What type of fighter are you? Well, I'm not just a fighter. I'm a boxer. I also model. I also dance. I do acting. I do TikToks. I do YouTube channels. I'm an entertainer. My job is not only a fighter, but I'm here to entertain you.
Yeah.
Now, fighting is entertaining. It's rather you can be. Do you want to be a Conor McGregor and make money as an entertainer, or do you want to be a Fedor Emelianenko and just be the greatest fighter of all time? Who got more money? Who makes more money?
Right.
Because Conor McGregor's making more money, but Fedor doesn't want to entertain, and Fedor doesn't even speak English. But he's the greatest fighter of all time. Still. But he's the greatest fighter of all time, and he doesn't speak English, nor does he promote. But you got Conor McGregor, who's just a hell of an entertainer, but it's not as skill set good as Fedor. Which one do you want to be?
Yeah.
Now,
that's the question now. That is the question, because that's a personal thing that everyone has to decide for themselves. And you can't point the finger if you decide not to be the entertainer.
Right. Yeah. You put me in Bellator, I guarantee you I'll be the most famous guy in Bellator because it's just who I am. Right. My persona. I grab people attention. I tell people, if you want to build a character, you got to look at it as WWE.
Yeah.
What do you want to be, the heel or the savior?
Yeah, pick.
Be the heel. Because everybody hates the heel.
Yep.
So when they hate the heel, they ready to see you lose.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Triple H.
Yep.
Without Triple H, there is no Rock. Without Triple H, there is no Stone Cold.
Right.
Without Triple H, there ain't no Kurt Angle and Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. You need that heel that drives the fans mad. Every time you see Triple H, you're like, ooh. Yeah. Eventually, Triple H becomes a loved one. That's why you got to play that persona. Who you are, what do you want to be, and make it consistent.
It's funny. I took that approach when I owned the MFC for 16 years. Because at that time, fighters didn't promote themselves at all. They had no clue how to do anything. So I had to take over the reins. Literally, I used to do 150 interviews prior to every MFC show. Everybody from Ariel Helwani to you name it, everybody. The reason being is they never wanted to talk to the fighters because the fighters never said anything back then. Right. So I said one day, my wife's like, Mark, you have to pick. Like, you have to get on the soapbox and you have to do the song and dance because no one else in our organization is doing it. So I started doing it. And all I did was every morning was I woke up and said, I'm going to pick a fight with somebody. I don't care who it is, but someone's going to fight me today. And I picked like Dana was easy, like, cause there was only me and him at one time. So I would mess with him all the time. And then he would just, motherfuck me on Twitter all the time. You know what I mean? Like he would just say that, but he didn't realize that he was growing my Twitter for me every time he MF'd me on Twitter, So, and I never mentioned him on Twitter ever. I never called him by his name.
You think about it, Mark and Jesse, MMA is like WWE.
Yeah.
You could be very fucking talented, like Ken Shamrock was in WWE, but just didn't have the star power like
Same
The
with
Rock.
Bret Hart. Bret Hart was but he wasn't the Rock. He wasn't
Right.
Stone Cold. He
There's
wasn't.
only so many few
Yeah.
people who can be the John Cena, the Randy Orton,
Yes.
the
It's
Rock,
true.
Stone
Yeah,
Cold,
it's
Triple H. Everybody else is just filling matches. So when you look at those John Cena, The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold, Undertaker, you're talking about Conor McGregor, George St. Pierre, John Jones, Khabib. Those are
Look, you know what's funny? You even struggle. And it's funny because I do too. You struggle to give me like 10 guys' names. You can't give me 10 guys'
There
names.
isn't anymore.
Not anymore, you can't. Because we're all sitting here trying to wonder, like, who are we going to watch?
Okay, let me play the other side of this then.
Yeah.
So we talk about PGA golf all the time, and they're waiting for the next Tiger. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the next guy. But shouldn't there then be some onus on the promotion to promote and not wait for the next guy,
Correct.
but create the next guy?
Well,
Yeah.
Golf is different. It's more, we're watching you. Opposed to like tennis, Osaka,
Yeah.
Perfect example. Oh, who's the next Serena Williams?
But then they have guys like Kyrgios and stuff that are in there too.
No, Jesse, I agree with you. You know why? Because it just happened. It's the same thing as fighting. What happens? The Live Golf Tour comes along and says, we're stealing all these guys from the PGA Golf Tour, and we're going to start our own league. What's the first thing they do? They say, hey, Bryson DeChambeau, he's all jacked up, looks like he's on steroids. This is golf. This is golf, everybody. They said, Bryson, we need you to start a YouTube channel. We're going to put cameras with you. You get on the tee and smash the ball 400 fucking yards every time. Go crazy. Be a maniac. What happened? Live Golf now is taking over. All the kids want to watch Live Golf. They want to see all these famous guys that are that used to be on the PGA Golf Tour, now playing on the Live Golf Tour, making $200 million.
You know what's making it more exciting? You got all these NBA players just going to the golf thing now.
Yeah.
It's true, though. You're right.
Yeah,
okay, that is a good point, because Live did create a platform to host all of these characters, and they've created space for these characters to be the forefront.
But that's my point.
So then there's the thing, because I feel the UFC doesn't create the space anymore to have some of those guys. They find a guy and then all in on that one guy, rather than making it available to, let's try to cultivate 10 guys.
So when we transition to MMA, you see the difference between Sean O'Malley and AJ McKee.
Yes.
We know the difference in skill set. AJ McKee's 10 times better.
Right.
But if you look at Sean O'Malley, what do you think he's doing on social media? He's doing these podcasts.
He's TikToking nonstop.
He's doing all this stuff to make himself relevant.
Yep.
All he got is the brand UFC.
Yep.
The UFC's not posting them 5-6 times a day.
No, they're not. They're not.
They only post them when he got a fight coming up.
That's right.
Your job as a fighter, and you wonder why you're like Neil Magny. No disrespect to my boy Neil.
Sure.
Wonder why you're like Neil Magny, been in the UFC for almost 12 years, getting paid 40 and 40, but Sean O'Malley's getting paid $100 million.
Right.
Because $1 million a fight, because Sean O'Malley got over 1 million followers, but he's doing all these podcasts with Joe Rogan. He's doing all these podcasts with the shit show. He's doing all this stuff, engaging.
You're right.
He's doing this. He's building your stock. So you don't get mad off performance base. Hey, just because you got 37,000 followers and you're making 40 and 40, you can't get mad at me because I've been in the UFC for less than a year and I have over 1 million followers making over 300,000 a fight.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, Jake, it's who you know.
Yeah. It is a different business. Then that's the thing.
No,
that is
right.
different. It is different. We're in a different world today.
More views is going to be on you.
Yeah. It is.
It's just like acting. Hey, I want to pick a superstar. Okay, we got this average Joe guy, Anthony Taylor, 200,000. But we got Will Smith, who has 40 million followers. Same resume in acting, but who I'm gonna go? I'm gonna go with Will Smith because he's gonna bring in more views.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's how they do it. It is true.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's all about views, and it's all about what can you bring to the table. Are you entertaining? Hey, I might be the most entertaining fighter out there, but I'm not the most. I don't have the skill set like AJ McKee. Now you put the skill set with me with AJ McKee.
Oh, it's over.
I'll be the biggest thing. I'll be bigger than Conor McGregor. I'm playing first round knockout. I'm winning the tournament. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to Disneyland. Meet me in Disneyland on the 27th. We finna hang out. I'm doing giveaways. I'm doing kissing booths. You know what I'm saying? But you need to bring COVID tests while you had it. I'm doing it all. I'm going, hey, everybody, I'm at Universal Studios. I'm with 20 of my bodyguards because I don't want to get bamboozled. You got to be, if I was doing stuff like that, I'd be the hottest thing. But what I do, it makes me who I am. My niche might not be AJ McKee's niche. My niche might not be Sugar Shine niche. It's all about how you work the camera. Make it, you got to turn something so small into something dramatic. Fight week. You got to do that.
What do you think? Do you see yourself then now creating a team, so to speak, where you bring in these guys and teach them this stuff?
Slowly, I'm teaching the amateurs. I've spoke to Shaquita, Shaquita from Body Shop, right? Mark, bald-headed chick, black girl, tall. I said, Shaquita, look at you. I even gave her thing. I said, Shaquita, we're taking your name Queen. We're not using Queen no more. But you know what Shaquita looks like, Mark, right?
Yeah.
I said, Shaquita, this is how you're going to become a fucking star. She says, tell me, Anthony. I said, we're going with the Wakanda look. We going with you got the ball head. I said, you got the ball head like the Wakanda Warriors. Every time you come up with a fight on Bellator, PFL, or UFC, you're going to dress up like the Wakanda Warrior with the ball head. Wear that staff.
Yeah.
And come out.
And the warrior, Lady Warrior. And they're going to know, this bitch is the real Wakanda Warrior because she's actually fighting in the cage. I said, Shaquita, you do stuff like that, dressing up like Wakanda Warrior, the female warriors, I guarantee you they're going to put your ass in the next movie.
Yeah. When it comes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they look like, well, she's a real deal. She's an actual fighter. And she's tall. We can use that.
Yeah.
And she dresses up as the warrior.
Anthony's making some sense today,
he
boy.
really is.
He's making some sense today, boy.
I like it because to me, I think everything's entertainment. I really do. I think if you have a social media account that's about, going to the thrift shop, it should be entertaining. And there will be people that find that entertaining. I won't find that entertaining, but other people that are into that will find it entertaining.
Right.
So you have to find that.
Yeah, they get the concept. Marvel, bam. Every time you step on a Bellator scale or a PFL scale, you dressed up like the Wakanda Warrior.
Yeah.
Even, look, you find a bunch of, it's just dramatic. You find like 3 or 4 girls who are bald-headed, black, and they dress up with the Wakanda Warriors female suit, and they all behind you.
Coming out
with you.
Yeah.
Even at the weigh-ins. You got your staff. That's your niche, Shaquita.
Hey, how about McKee? How about McKee's son, the little one? That kid's already a star, eh?
Mason.
Yeah, Mason. That kid's a star, legit.
Mason has a different personality than AJ because Mason's around a lot of personalities.
Yeah, and he's grabbing him, eh? He's grabbing him.
Right. He's grabbing a lot of personalities.
Yeah.
AJ's more of a, man, I want to go to sleep. I just want to fight. I'm like, AJ, yes, but you got to post. You're not posting.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. So I try to give my guys, my teammates, some advice. Abigail, Montez. Hey, Abby, you're a Latina, red hair, you're hot. Use that hotness, but use it to an advantage, not to where you got to create an OnlyFans. Don't do it.
Right. No.
But use your hotness. And I tell her, you got to learn English. She speaks Spanish, but she's going to school now for English. I say, you got to learn English because to become a household name, you got to start speaking English.
Yeah.
Got to start doing that. So I tell all my guys that. I got a guy who's actually, his name, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's a stripper. Hey, every time you fight, you got to use that niche as a Chippendale stripper type of move. Every time you come out to the fight, you have a girl on the chair, you walk out, you dance on her, you walk to the ring.
You're talking about bringing WWE to the UFC.
You got to bring WWE to UFC without saying WWE.
Yep.
I know, and also too with making it real. So the end result is you still have to know how to fight. You still got to know. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The beauty of this to make it work is you could do whatever you want as long as you win. So if you win, it takes it to another look at what's the kid that we always make fun of? The one that in the UFC. Shit, I just forgot his name. I had a brain
Jordan. Jordan.
No, the one that he's like awesome. He's the one that's fight like he was at American Top Team. He's cringeworthy. He's the Trump guy, always wearing the Trump stuff.
Kobe Covington.
Kobe Covington. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot his name. Now, see, Kobe is cringeworthy with his shit talk. Like he doesn't know how to shit talk. He doesn't know how to put it together, but he still wins most of the time. Right, so he can be
the
that.
persona of that all goes together.
But But here's the difference of doing that and the way I do it.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of heat because he just came up with it out of nowhere, and people's like,
he did. That's true. Yeah.
Like you weren't like that in college. You're just
wasn't even like that last. He wasn't like that last 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I tell people in the beginning stage of the amateurs to the beginning of their MMA career as a pro, stick with that niche from the beginning so it becomes consistent. So people be like, oh, this guy's been like that since the amateur days.
Yeah.
He's all we understand. You need to stay consistent. Your word needs to mean something. Oh, I trust Anthony Word. You say you're going to give me $500. I'll pay you. I'll give you $500. Pay me back because I know your word is good for it. You have good credit. If you saw my amateur stuff, I've always been flamboyant and loud and charismatic. I did a lot of WWE stuff. So transitioning here, no one can say, well, you're trying to be like Conor McGregor. Well, I was doing this before Conor McGregor got to the UFC. And plus, I'm not Irish. Well, you're trying to be like Floyd. Well, okay, but I'm not a boxer.
Yeah.
I'm me.
And Floyd, I don't know if he was that good at it anyway.
I take everything from Conor. I take everything from Floyd. I take everything from The Rock to Triple H. Boxing, I throw it into my little flavor. No one knows, but I mix it in. And what I've done from my previous amateur career to now, it follows through. And people are like, okay, he's consistent. He's not fake. You last year you were just because if AJ go from this quiet, humble guy to they're gonna be like, man, get out of here.
Yeah. But AJ could go bitter. AJ could become bitter, and that would work. And what I mean by that is he can become defiant. He doesn't have to shit talk, but he could become defiant, which means he could be picking a fight with the organization. He could be picking a fight with everybody in every weight class, and he could talk about it super calm. And that would be AJ McKee. But I know there's a character inside of him that's really him, his alter ego. He's just not letting it out. He doesn't let anybody see it.
Let me give you an example, Mark. His alter ego is an asshole. You don't want to see the alter ego. It's more of a I don't give a fuck. Pay me.
Yeah.
Let me fight.
Yeah. No one cares. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a pleasant alter ego. It will rub. I tell you this right now. AJ's alter ego to come out. He's an asshole, and he's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way and not want to do business with him.
Right.
So if I'm being honest, that's why he plays it cliche, clean cut.
Yeah.
Because if you want him to come out, you're talking about who I can say he's kind of like, he can kind of mix it with it like a little Jake Paul and Nate Diaz type.
Yeah.
And
more Nate Diaz. More like Nate.
The last thing you need to be doing is shit talking to your fucking guys who's cutting your check.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he could become like a Nate. He could be that kind of.
But Nate had that persona since coming in with longevity. You know, AJ is just learning the tricks and trade. AJ was more of a Fedor. Now we're trying to change AJ from Fedor to Conor. You know, I said AJ, I told AJ in the whole beginning of the tournament before he won $1 million. I said, AJ, you need to be cocky. You need to be going on Twitter, first round, knockout, Georgia. Next you know it, smoked him in 6 seconds. That shit trending. AJ said it first round.
Yeah.
AJ, second round submission. Campos, I'm gonna get him. Oh shit, AJ's right. Oh, well, new shit. Submit. First round submit. Done. Pitbull, first round done. People was gonna be treating out like, yo, this AJ guy's like Conor. He the real deal, but he's black and he's athletic.
And he's probably a better fighter.
And he's probably a better fighter because he got a ground game.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He's coaching people who got a ground game.
Yep.
This ain't no next Conor McGregor. This the next damn near Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
You
Of
know?
MMA. Yeah, I agree.
So I tell AJ, like, you gotta do these niches. You gotta figure out what's going to work. If you're gonna be the good guy, be the good guy. If you want to be the bad guy, be the bad guy. But right now, AJ's been the good guy so far.
That's right. So your next fight, is it confirmed for November 12th?
13th. I've already signed the contract for November 13th.
So November 13th on DAZN.
On pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view DAZN. Yeah.
Pay-per-view, baby.
Yeah, pay-per-view DAZN. And that is where? That is where? In England?
In Dubai.
In Dubai.
Awesome,
Okay.
Dubai. Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
So most likely it'll be 8:00 my time, which will probably be.
Well, we'll post it. We'll post it for everybody to see for sure on the 13th of November.
Dubai, and it's going to be an amazing thing because the zone loves me. The zone's like, yo, they telling Misfits, they telling this guy, yo, get this guy, Pretty Boy, at the press conference. Like, there's only three sets of fights who are going on the press conference. Me and my Jack Fincham, Tommy Fury and his opponent, Floyd Mayweather and Deji.
Yeah.
Now, they could have pulled out the whole card, but obviously they wanted me on there because they're like, yo, that little motherfucker entertaining. He's good for views and ratings.
He brings the ratings up.
Right. He's a shit talker, but he does it with class where he's not trying to fight nobody on stage.
Yeah.
You know, he keeps it clean. Hey,
exactly.
keep it clean. You know, I'm a shit talk. I ain't gonna take your belt. I ain't gonna spit at you, throw anything. I'll shit talk, but I'll do it in a reasonable box.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That grabs people's attention like, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, so my delivery's good, my jokes, everything is good. I'm coming like the WWE, hitting them with all types of things, you know?
Well, I love it. I love that. I love DAZN. I love that you're going to be on there, and that's November 13th for everyone. If you don't follow Anthony, you need to follow him because obviously, is there anyone more entertaining right now?
Ain't nobody any more entertaining than me. I guarantee you.
That was it. I was waiting. I was like, I hope he says himself because this proves the point.
Conor McGregor fought right now. I'm starching him. All Conor got is kicks. I ain't worried about the kicks. He definitely ain't gonna out wrestle me. That's a fact. So, welcome to the big leagues, fella. And the press conference. Oh, it's gonna be a lot of shit talking at the press conference.
When's the press conference? The day before?
A press conference. If me and Conor McGregor had our own press conference.
Yeah. That'll be the 3-week affair.
We doing 1 million views because ain't nobody gonna out talk me. Ain't nobody. I got so much shit to talk. It's just how I am. This press conference, November 4th in London, for the Mayweather versus Deji, I'm gonna call out Floyd. And I'm gonna tell Floyd, if I do get the fight, you better try to knock me out in the first round.
Yeah.
If you're not, I'm coming with that fire. And I'm not these other fighters you used to. I'm awkward. I'm an MMA fighter. We tough.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
And I'm gonna tell Floyd, I'm gonna rock your shit. I ain't that fighter that you think you fought Canelo. No, I'm coming to get it. We don't give a fuck if we get knocked out. We coming to get it. That's part of our sport. You either gonna get knocked out or I'm gonna knock you out. Boxing, they just want to be conservative. Me, I don't give a fuck. Let's get it. You knock me out, but just know.
Well, you have a great highlight tape now with your fight against Ashley when you knocked him out in 3 seconds, and I can't even believe you don't have the T-shirt printed up of his face when he stood up, because that look is just like I couldn't stop laughing, man. Like his face, like he was like, what the heck? Like Shazam. And how you don't got T-shirts of that, wearing them in the actual gym? I don't know what's wrong with you, Anthony. I dropped the ball on that one.
Maybe I should, but I'm gonna focus on Jack Fincham And then I'm going to let him know that, hey, I want you, Floyd. Now, if I get to fight with Floyd, it makes sense. I fought on Showtime pay-per-view twice.
Yeah.
I'm fighting on the Zone twice. I trained with Jake Paul. You don't like Jake Paul. I've been on Misfits. I'm known. I fought Tommy Fury. I went the distance. It only makes sense if Deji is fighting Floyd.
Yeah.
Why not me? I
Yeah.
pose a bigger threat, and I have more of a mouthpiece. By the way, I stole your nickname, Money, because now I stole your nickname, the Pretty Boy. I'm the Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy versus Money, Floyd. It would be a massive event, and we do this shit. We do this shit up in Vegas, or we go to Oracle. No, we go to Chase Center, my hometown, Chase Center in San Francisco. It will sell out. The shit will sell out with all my fucking fans, because all my friends is going to be there.
That's
all
awesome.
my fans. Like, you can't get nothing better than that. Peekaboo style versus a half Philly shell.
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
we talking about Floyd here, but we also talking about 40-some-year-old Floyd too.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Big difference.
If we're talking about 33, 35,
No.
yeah, like, I'll humble myself, like, hey,
Yeah.
but hey, am I saying I'm going to be Floyd? No, I'm being realistic here. If he wanted to, he'll probably, if he tried his best, he can probably take me out in the 6th round. If he's well conditioned and I'm not
Yeah.
the best.
Exactly.
Other than that, I'm throwing Hadogans. Oh, the whole round. Hadogans. Hey, because he beat up 50 people, don't mean he gonna beat me up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is as a kid growing up. Just because you beat up my friend don't mean you gonna beat me up.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's how I think. Hey, we fighters. You gonna either knock us out or tap us out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Anthony. Again, always so great to see you on screen anywhere. And so follow Anthony. Make sure you follow the next fight. Make sure you buy the next fight because it's going to be worth it. Watch the press conference November 4th and follow him on all social media because you can be entertained.
Absolutely. Instagram, Anthony_prettyboy. Twitter, Anthony_for-real. Facebook, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. Hey, I got my OnlyFans, but don't worry, it's only training videos. Nothing. Listen.
Not that spicy.
Pretty Boy Taylor. It's spicy.
Well,
Take
thanks
care,
so much
bro.
for joining us, man. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right.
Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor, everybody on the show today. All right.
Hey, man, hey, geez. We haven't had him on before, have we?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, I thought we did.
We've had so many guests, Jesse,
Yeah.
that you forget.
I know.
Like, it's funny. People say that all the time. It's like we went on a roll for the first year. Literally, the crazy people we had on this show. Donald Penn from the Raiders. Yeah. We've had Harris from the Atlanta Falcons. We've had, hockey.
Agent,
people.
everyone we talked about today, essentially.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we've had so many great guests on our show.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a matter of like finding guests that are entertaining, that are going to tell a story. And that's what people that watch our show have to understand.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And I think people do understand that because
now they do. Now they do.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to be entertained. Nobody watches things that aren't entertaining.
Exactly.
It's like,
well, let's
why
talk
would I
about
watch
this though. Raiders win
it?
yesterday.
Oh, jeez.
Raiders win.
Really? You're going to jump on the Raiders already? I
Yes.
told you this all.
Yes.
I mean,
did.
you beat
did.
the Titans.
No.
Oh,
No.
sorry, the Texans. Even
Yes.
worse.
No,
Even
but
worse.
you're missing the point.
No, I'm not missing the point. The
You're
point
missing the
is
point.
it's like an
We-
exhibition game. You had to
won.
win.
We won, but even bigger. Okay, even bigger than the
Okay.
Raiders win yesterday. Even bigger than the Raiders win yesterday.
Say it.
Can I get a Geno Smith amen in this place? Geno Smith taking down the Chargers yesterday. Everybody,
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen, I've said it before. I didn't call back. The greatest quote ever. Geno
Hey, man.
Smith.
I'm saying Pete Carroll. I'm saying
Yeah.
Pete Carroll. I'm on the Pete Carroll wagon again.
Oh, yeah.
I think Pete
Oh,
Carroll
yeah.
has it. I think it. You know what I'm going to say, Mark? I'm going to say this.
No, I agree.
It has shades of 2011 when the Hawks turned it around,
Ooh.
and you could tell something was cooking. There's no Russ. It doesn't matter. The kitchen's still on. The gas is still on,
Yes.
and they're
yes.
still cooking.
No.
That defense I mean, it has shades of it. There's shades of that. Like, you know, you see glimpses of the Legion of Boom, and you're like, hold on.
That looks familiar.
Did they figure something out? And I'll tell you what, guys, it isn't prettiest, but that has never been the Hawks. Hawks have always, when they've been successful, it's been an all-round. It hasn't been really
like everybody's
a superstar that did it. It's been
special teams,
everybody.
Special teams,
everybody's
kickers.
making plays.
Yeah, it's true.
You're taking the ball away. You're going after the ball. You're capitalizing where you can.
Exactly.
And again, it is shocking. Like, they're leading the division, for crying out loud. Which I'm not holding my breath still, because maybe you should, though, because week 8 is coming up. But still, like,
listen, Geno Smith, we trust in Geno Smith, everybody. And don't forget, Jesse Martineau was crucifying him weeks ago, saying, and I'm telling everybody this, when a guy comes out with a catch line like he did in week 1, when he said, I didn't call back, right? And you know what? That's in him now. Yeah. He's a guy with a chip on his shoulder so big that it is so blatant how huge that chip is on his shoulder that he's like, no, man, no, I'm sick of
I
it.
think it is. I absolutely agree. Like, it is one of those situations where you do have a chip on your shoulder, and you really have nothing to lose at this point.
Nothing, Jesse. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. He has some element of talent. Now he's took that small level of element of talent he has, put a gigantic chip on his shoulder, and then another one on the other shoulder, and said, you know what, man? I'm so sick of this. I actually do have talent, and I'm going to show everybody. And don't forget, you actually have a few pieces still left in Seattle that can help him.
Absolutely.
That can help him on the way.
And Kenneth Walker III looks like he's actually going to be a decent running back. So you definitely have it. Now, who does have everything to lose is the Raiders. I think you're right about that. Like, they had to win. They had to win.
Yeah.
And it's nice that some of them showed up to play yesterday.
Listen,
it is.
We were having this discussion earlier.
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs, had
a good game.
They did not renew his option, 50-year option.
Good.
That is going to be a gigantic mistake on the Raiders' half, because I'll tell you, this kid's going to be worth so much money. And if the Raiders don't pay it, there'll be a million teams that will pay it. This kid is lighting it up now. And what they finally realized is Derek Carr is a mediocre quarterback at best in the NFL. He's finally realized that he doesn't have to do it all. He's finally realized
they're making him hand it off.
Well, he's got this quarter horse in the backfield that rarely fumbles the ball.
But the problem was too
is that check that stat. You should check that stat too. Josh Jacobs rarely fumbles the ball.
But the problem was Josh Jacobs wasn't, like, I was big on Josh Jacobs when he came in. I really was.
I know you were.
And I drafted him in a couple leagues, and I don't deny that he's serviceable. The problem was it was so inconsistent. And now you can blame that on him, but you can blame it on
the play calling.
Like it just wasn't gelling. Now, what do you say about McDaniels, though? Because this is one game, and they should have win. They should absolutely have beat these guys. It was the lock of the week for NFL Network. They said it was the lock of the week. Like, bet all of your money that the Raiders will win.
Yeah,
and rightly so.
But after the first quarter, they were ready. His house was for sale. So after the first quarter, when it was 3-3 or whatever it was, they literally had his house for sale in Las Vegas because they literally, if they lose this game, the sense of urgency.
All over.
Okay, listen, the sense of urgency still has to be big. They still have to beat New Orleans next week, and then they have to win. They have to go 5-4.
It's uphill.
They have to go 5-4 in this next little stretch. 5-4. It's right there on paper. They should destroy New Orleans. They should win the week after, and then they're back again against Denver, who just looks terrible. So they should get to 5-4. If they can get to that, then we'll see what can happen. But can we talk about the Buccaneers today? Can we just, like, what's going on? Tom Brady, 3 points yesterday, can't generate offense all season long
against a team that just lost their best player.
Yes,
and arguably the best player in the league, definitely one of them.
Yeah,
and they throw up 21 on you, and they shouldn't have. Like, they shouldn't have. Like,
no.
There's no way they should have.
But you know what's happening right now? And it's breaking my heart because I've never been. I acknowledge that Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. He is the GOAT. There's no question.
Yes.
I'm not even going to argue that. And it's not that I dislike him. I just
No, you dislike him.
I disliked him because he was never on my teams. But you know what was crazy about it? The crazy part is he's going to have the most wins ever, championships ever. But this is what people are going to remember, Jesse. They're going to remember this year right now, and this is his last year. Listen to me when I tell you this. I guarantee you that this is his last year.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
Because you can't play the way you're playing right now and then go out and say, well, I can show you next year at 46 years old or whatever it is.
No, I agree.
Teams are not going to take that chance. You know what? He like most great people in sports, he's played one too many years. He should have stopped. He should have stopped when he won the first time in Tampa. When he came and won that championship, he should have bounced and said, listen, I just showed you I can win anywhere. Instead, he came back, no Gronk, and he's in big trouble right now. He's in big trouble.
Yeah, I would just want to give a special shout out to Aaron Rodgers to suck it because he got beat by the Washington Commanders yesterday.
Oh my God! We are watching something right now in football
it is. Like, it's crazy.
The Giants are 6-1. The Jets,
the Dolphins,
the Jets are still undefeated. Everybody, you understand that? That's insane.
No, the Jets are 5-2. You mean the Eagles?
No, excuse me, the Eagles. Sorry,
they're on a bye week, but that's
what I meant. Sorry. But the Jets are 5-2. That's what I meant. And Philly's still undefeated.
Yeah.
Do you understand how bizarre that is? And literally, the Buccaneers and the Packers have losing records right now.
It is. Well, I thought the jury was big time out on the Packers. I thought they were rated way too high. This year, but it is one of those. I can't believe the Giants. The Giants are, I think, shocking everyone. Everyone said Saquon was going to be awesome, and I didn't know because
he was always awesome, though.
But
Saquon was always awesome.
It's just those dang injuries that really got him.
That's right. And this is the first time he's been semi-healthy, and he's really showing off.
Every time that he's healthy, he is incredible. There's no question.
Incredible.
But you still would think that you'd be able to put like a 7-man box against him every single time.
But they can't.
But they can't because somehow Jones is doing things. And I don't understand, but there it is. Like I do think that
Monday nighters tonight.
It's the Bears and Patriots.
Patriots tonight. So that's the Monday nighter for everybody to watch. And then let's see who else.
Well, let's jump to F1 because Red Bull takes down the constructors now. Max Verstappen wins the world title. Red Bull, constructors, Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton, still crying about last year.
Yeah.
Screw him.
Can't win again.
No, they're not going to win. It could be his first season in how long that he doesn't actually win a race.
He
it
won't
is
win a
crazy.
Race. But that's what I'm trying to tell people. That's the thing about F1, just in general. It does, I do consider them athletes. Okay.
I do too.
And I do too. So
I drove a go-kart once and I almost died.
Yeah. So there you go. But what I'm saying is I've always considered them athletes. The part that I do know is, though, I know the team is just as important as the driver of the car.
Yes, it is. It's a team sport as well.
Yeah, it's like really a team sport that most people don't acknowledge.
It is money. It's a big money-based team sport because
but it's also
it does matter.
It's also maneuvering the car and maneuvering the car the correct way. It seems like Red Bull's got it figured out now, and they got the right equilibrium of the car going the right way, and then you actually have to have the right driver, because if you take the B driver of Red Bull and put him in Max's car, he doesn't win like Max wins.
It is one of those things, right?
And like Mercedes, and 2 years ago, Mercedes had it figured out, and they couldn't lose. And then most people think, in hindsight, they were cheating in some way because they had it figured out way too far than everybody else did. Yeah. Now, Red Bull's got it figured out in a way where it's kind of like, it's like that even playing field way of they figured it out. But even as a huge Mercedes fan, I look at the season prior to that when Mercedes was winning everything, and I thought, you know what? Maybe they're skirting something here differently because it doesn't seem right. You
And
know
then
what I
when
mean?
the big card changes happened.
Then they got
Yeah.
that's my point. They
Yeah.
got exposed.
Well, I think that is important.
No.
I think that is what
No,
F1 has
it
to
is.
keep doing is every 5 years or so
I agree.
turn the car on its head and reset that field. Baseball World Series now coined in Philadelphia Phillies, Houston Astros. Houston shouldn't have been allowed to play. I would say they should have got a full year ban from baseball.
Wow.
A full year. The whole team doesn't get to play.
Wow.
The manager got a year suspension. Big deal.
Yeah.
Big, and they got like a $10,000 fine. It was a slap on the wrist for essentially cheating to World Series.
Yes.
And so I don't think they should ever. I don't think they should have been back. I actually don't think.
Well, the only people rooting for them to win the World Series is the people of Houston, right? Outside of that,
I get it.
outside-
Yeah, but
outside
everyone
of
else
that,
hates
no
it.
one- yeah,
Everyone else hates
yeah,
them.
hates
You can't do that. You can't do that to that level and expect everyone to like you still. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, World Series. I do love the World Series. I do think
Me
it
too.
is great.
Me
but,
too.
But that's I don't.
We
want
might.
Houston.
Is it possible we might even go into November? Because I don't think it's ever gone into November. It's October baseball. I don't think it's ever reached
Yeah, I don't know if
November. And it might
I don't know
reach,
if it will.
Yeah, I don't know if it can.
I don't think they let it. But
Yeah, it's like going to be right
because
on
they
the,
play back-to-back days, so that's the thing too.
Yeah. But I thought, wow, this is really pushing it far this year. Just a little bit farther than usual.
Well, yeah, some of the series went longer, right?
Yeah, longer.
And so that's part of the thing there. And then hockey. I mean, hockey's going on. Who cares?
No, but I know. But look at Oilers. Oilers they look shaky. They look real shaky. I mean, they just lost on the weekend 2-0. You have all that manpower and everything. And I don't know, like I said, it's too early in the season to say anything yet, but I do believe they have a lot of pressure on them. They have way more pressure on them than Calgary does to finish.
I think so too.
So Calgary's got a free pass this year. They basically had their star players walk out, and basically that's the kind of team that goes really far though. That's the kind of team. Yeah. They go,
but again, it's that chip on the shoulder thing that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, we'll show you. Just like Seattle's doing right now with Russell and Denver. It's like they're like, yeah, you want to go? Look at you now, look at us. That's how it is. You weren't the team. You're not the whole team. And that's how it works. But listen, everybody, we want to thank Crystal Glass, our major sponsor. Crystal Glass, for all your glass needs. You can check them out at crystalglass.ca or go to 310 Glass. Also, Meathead, specialty meat and seafood. And don't forget, everybody, Broadway and Grand. If you're out in the Grove, check it out, everybody. Best smoked meat on the planet.
Well, I mean, a lot of people in Houston would disagree with that.
Well,
and again, it's very
one
good.
cares.
Best
know
round. For sure.
Listen, and in Houston right now, we don't care.
Yeah. You don't deserve the World Series.
You don't deserve the World Series. You don't.
Well, thanks again. Once again, special thanks to Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. Good luck in your fight coming up. That's Mark Pavelich. I'm Jesse Martineau. You can follow us on TikTok now.
Yes.
TikTok, our username is Me and Jesse Podcast. It's clever. Head over there. Find us on YouTube. Share it with your friends.
We're on TikTok.
We'll see you next time on the Me and Jesse Podcast.
Thanks for watching the Me and Jesse Podcast. Follow us at facebook.com/Me and Jesse.